The future of electric vehicles. Now that is a phrase that is being thrown around quite a lot recently, but when you pause and think about what that future is going to be like, well, then there are two possibilities that stand out of the rest. The first one is electric vehicles.
And the second is the hybrid vehicles. Yes, the electric vehicles have zero tailpipe emissions, but then they need a huge infrastructure support and also are very expensive. For me, and this is what I believe, that hybrid vehicles are the immediate solution to the India's pollution problem.
So let's take a closer look at both electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles and do an in-depth analysis work from home style. Alright, so I will start by talking about the positives of electric vehicles first. If one of your biggest concerns is the fact that vehicles cause pollution and you want to strive towards a future with cleaner air, then there's nothing better than an electric car. Well, technically yes, it does require resources to make the car in the first place, but once that is done, the tailpipe emissions is actually zero. Some people might think that electric vehicles have a shoddy range, and that's rightly so, because the first popular EV in India, the E2O, actually only had a range of 80 kilometers. However, now cars like the Hyundai Kona would go on to drive about 450 kilometers on a single charge. And internationally, cars like the ones made by Tesla are crossing 600 kilometers on a single charge, and it is only a matter of time in the not so distant future that the technology becomes a lot more affordable, making range anxiety a thing of the past. If you calculate the cost per kilometer of petrol or diesel powered car versus the cost per kilometer that comes up for an electric car, then well, electric is exponentially cheaper. To put it into perspective, the per kilometer cost of an EV comes out to be less than rupees 1 per kilometer, while for petrol powered car, on an average, it would start from somewhere at a cost of 4 rupees per kilometer and only go above from there. So there you have it, these are the positives of electric vehicles, but what about hybrid vehicles?
The hybrid vehicles have plenty of positives too. For starters, they do not need as much infrastructure support as the electric vehicles. For example, the Toyota Camry Hybrid is a self-charging car. On the other hand, vehicles like Volvo XC90 T8 Hybrid is a PHEV, which means plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and you get a charger installed at your home or at your workplace, which you can use efficiently to charge the car. And then there's the range anxiety, which is stopping a lot of people from buying the electric cars. You see, in the hybrid vehicles, there is dual power source, which is mostly petrol and electric. If your batteries ever get dried up, you can always go to the fuel pump and get your petrol filled without any range anxiety. And lastly, the most exciting thing about the hybrid vehicles is their initial cost of ownership, which means the vehicle itself is very low priced as compared to the electric vehicles, and this way you can meet your expenses in a very short time. But like everything else, there's always another side of the coin, and the electric vehicles cannot be so perfect. So Manav, tell me about some of the negatives.
Well, yes, like you mentioned, there are a few, but interestingly, they are the opposite of the positives of hybrid cars. If you compare the number of fuel pumps that you find on your daily commutes or highway drives versus an EV charging station, then the problem becomes evident. Charging an EV is still a hassle, and even if you do happen to find one, it will take forever to charge as compared to the time it takes up to fill up your petrol tank. While the range of an electric vehicle has improved, and yes, the running cost of an electric car is exponentially less than a conventional car, but there is a catch. You see, the cost of buying a new electric car in the first place is actually way higher than a similarly spec'd conventional car. Recovering this extra cost could take very long in certain cases. This is because the battery technology still has some way to go before it becomes equally expensive to make an electric car and sell to the masses, as opposed to something being powered by an internal combustion engine. So these are the negatives of electric vehicles, but what about hybrid cars?
While hybrid vehicles might be the immediate answer to the pollution problem of India, they cannot be the long-term solution, as electric vehicles are the only vehicles which are having zero tailpipe emission. On the other hand, the hybrid vehicles do have certain tailpipe emission because they are using petrol as a power source too, and the battery range is also less. Also, the hybrid vehicles in India right now are out of common man's reach. For example, the Toyota Camry and the Toyota Prius hybrid are all priced upwards of rupees 40 lakhs. There's no mass manufacturer who has yet decided to bring the hybrid technology to the budget cars. But if they decide to do so, it will be way more cheaper than the electric vehicles.
So there you have it. These are the positives and negatives of both electric vehicles as well as hybrid vehicles. But when you see the bigger picture, one of them starts to make a bit more sense than the other. Isn't that, Arjun?
Well, yes, Manav, I'm all for electric vehicles and I know they are the future of mobility. But you see, electric vehicles need heavy infrastructure which India lacks. And that is why I believe the hybrid vehicles are the solution to the India's immediate pollution problem.